Welcome my friends, it's Admiral Revan here. Hope you're all doing well. It's great to see you. And today we'll be addressing something very important for you in World of Warships. And this is something that has been on our minds for a lot of people out there who have been reaching out to me. And this is in regarding to a very important dev blog that I will be addressing in this video. The important dev blog that we're talking about is actually called Separating Economic Bonuses from Visual Customizations. This article has sparked a bit of a concern from a lot of people, and I have to say that I'm not the only one, and you're not the only one who has been concerned about the changes. So let's just start off by addressing a couple of things what World of Warships has been going through in the past 7 years. So back in 2015, when the game first came out, the game was actually pretty much in its infant stages, where it's still evolving and developing as it goes. Now, back then, I mean like in 2015, that there was some basic, tech tree lines. There was not many premium ships to get at the time, and basically the game was pretty much, in a nutshell, in its infant stages, where people were still evolving, learning how to play the game, respecting the commanders continuously, and learning how to use the flags, camouflages, and other bonuses, modules, and things like that. Now we're in a state of getting to about 7 years later down the track, that we have reached a bit of a pinnacle of the actual franchise right now, where we have tier 11 warships. I can't believe it, I'm saying tier 11. So what I'm going to say is that this is where a lot of things have happened over the time, and when the super warships were introduced, when I first heard about them, I was going like, oh yeah, it sounds great. This happened about a couple of years ago when they were introduced at first in Grand Battles, and it was great. I mean, like, you had the Satsuma and the Hanover first introduced, and you were having a great time, and it was very interesting. We get that, but the thing is that when they started to introduce different warships like the Annapolis, the Conde, the Dorky, the Yamaguri, and then all of a sudden now we have super carriers. So yeah, basically, things have, changed either from better to worse, or both, I guess. But I mean, the thing is that the super warships in the latest dev blog that was announced, they did mention that they had reduced how much XP has been earned on them. So previously they had about 27%. Now they've been reduced to about 17%. That's 10% less from what they were being given. And also, in terms of the amount of XP from the super carriers for dealing damage, was reduced as well. And honestly, they're trying to balance it out in the game mechanics to be made suitable, quote unquote, for tier 10 and 9 battles. Now, I have to say that when I've been thinking about it, the whole aspect of when they were first introduced, what changed? So, I'm thinking about back in the day, since Grand Battles was first introduced, the super ships were fine. They were good, they were enjoyable, and I have to say, what changed? Well, what changed is that wargaming itself had got a bit greedy, and this is a bit of a really carefully statement here, because there's something here that I have been really keeping an eye on very closely about what's been happening behind the scenes most recently. And the reason why I'm really careful about this is because that most recently I've been looking at carefully about how expensive that these warships are to acquire, and it seems to be more about show me the money. And basically the expression that they're using is that they pretty much encouraging the player base more often to fork out more of their dollars out there just to prove a point. Now, honestly, just 1 second here. Like, one of the biggest things is that I've been noticing is that an average user, doesn't really earn that much money, but when they want to spend like doubloons or premium time or anything like that, here's an example of what it's like. You know, back in the old days when the premium shop first came out, they had, you know, some very nice bundles and deals. Like, for example, that you could get the ships that you want at a time, and you have these decent, you know, fun and engaging packs. And basically, when you look at that sort of thing going on, um, this is where, you know, premium time became a thing because people were thinking about their experience from World of Tanks, for example, and it's actually, you know, fair price all around. When it came to acquiring a collector's item, you know, for a warship that they wanted, and they had to spend big bucks like this in my hand, for example, here, like I'm holding like, you know, some cash here just to prove a point. But you know, they're just, you know, showing it as a bit of a flexing moment. Now, I have to say that when I've been looking at this very carefully, folks, about, you know, anything to do with collecting ships online, me personally, I always loved, you know, enjoying collecting warships over in due course. I have collected a whole ton of ships over in this game for the last 7 years, and it's fun and it's enjoyable. But sometimes it can get a bit too much. Now, there's one comment that was made to me in passing by a viewer, and basically he said, "Did you know you're technically just renting the server just to play this game online? Just like when you're playing like Star Wars: The Old Republic or World of Warcraft, Guild Wars, and all those games online, because any game that you play online these days, they can be taken away easily." So when I think about that in the comment itself, that is pretty much damn true. Because there's a lot of games out there in the past, like for example Star Wars Galaxies, a lot of people had invested over thousands and thousands of dollars into collecting ships, items, customizations and things like that, and all of a sudden they lost it. And you know, because the game developers went either bankrupt or player base just like, you know, poof, you know, disappeared. But in this retrospect, in World of Warships and wargaming sense, the game's going to be around for a long time, so I wouldn't be worried about that. Any comments like that? However, for a free-to-play game, I will say this very openly: it is a damn good game all round. So please, just put that, you know, those comments aside, and this video is about exactly the main topic of this video, and that is separating economic bonuses from visual customizations. Now, I have to say, when I first heard about this, I was really skeptical about everything I've been hearing, and I just said to myself, what the hell is wargaming going on with this? And honestly, I was a bit really skeptical about it at first, and then I just realized that as a person who has played the game for 7 years, I sat down there and go like, wow, this is going to be an eye-changing experience. So when I first read this article, I will be honest with you that I have to admit, when I first read it, I was going like, are you really sure this is where you really want to go with this wargaming? And I will explain and talk about it through with you on this video. So, as you know, the game has been around for 7 years, okay? And one of the most important components of World of Warships was the economy, okay? So we have to understand that it's because of how you earn currency, in-game currency in the game, right? So basically, it has been largely remained unchanged. And I have to admit, that is also true. But over in time, we have drawn a long list of things that could be improved and changed. And when we started working on the popular idea of separating economic bonuses from the visuals, we realized that what this has entailed many other changes. So it's interesting when wargaming says like, oh, okay, if we're gonna make this move, we're gonna have to make sure we're gonna do this right. So this is a pretty much a very much a big gamble on wargaming's part here. So this discussion has been in the making for quite some time. So when whatever I'm going to be mentioning here, it will always subject to change because anything can change from today, tomorrow, next month, or whenever. But anyhow, below you will find the main goals of the update. So basically, key information, details of the change, the conversion calculator to estimate how the transition that will affect you. Examples of usage bonuses, the battle rewards calculator to compare earnings before and after the change. Conversion rules describing how the process works in detail. Some explanations on minor changes. Alright, so this is a very interesting breakdown of what Wargaming is going to be talking about. So we're going to start covering the main goals of the update. Okay, so the basic principle is that in total your economic earnings will not, I should rephrase, will not be negatively affected. In some cases, you'll even get more. The main goal of the update are the following. This is interesting, the way they worded it. I feel when I read this that there's something behind it, a bit of a silver lining. So let's just hang in there and just see what they're talking about. Give the ability to select economic bonuses and camouflages independently of each other. So this is actually a bit different to what like what we're used to. So it looks like that they're pretty much giving us, the players, a bit of a choice here of what we can use to actually improve our economic bonuses in these warships we play online. In all seriousness though, I mean, like, there could be a setting that could be generalized as a default setting for all ships that you play it on, and it could be justified like that. But it looks like they are going by this individually, so bear with me as we explain. Simplify the management of economic bonuses, fair enough. Make the transition from the old system to the new one as comfortable as possible, debatable. Keep the current state of the game's economy with regard to costs and earnings. So, okay, there's a bit of a tongue-twisting moment there. But besides that, we are improving the interface, bonus management, stock display, and more. Okay, so basically what they're trying to aim to do here is that they're trying to make the new system more simplistic and for you new players and returning players, as well as the current players, to have more enjoyment out of the game for whatever you want or what you desire. Sounds like to me that they're giving us a choice to have more in-game currency, more Commander XP, free XP, bonuses of some kind that is a bit more rewarding to you, the viewers out there, the players. So it's a bit of a changing experience, but we'll see how this pans out though. So the key changes is that this is a short list key of changes. If you're interested in more details about these others, you can find them in the other sections below. Okay, so basically what they're talking about here is that, ooh, well, okay, so it looks like it's a bit really worded here. So let me just explain it as we go. All right. Okay, so just by reading this, I'm just going to break it down for you folks. Okay, so in here, the economic bonuses of camouflages and signals have separate entities. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. So you can see the categories there that have separate entities. Choose a camouflage only affects visuals. Okay, sounds good. Bonus to XP does not affect free XP or commander XP at the same time. However, all bonuses are increased accordingly. Basic free XP earnings are doubled. That's cool. Economic bonuses from permanent camouflages are purchased separately and are permanently active from a ship if present. Expendable bonuses can only they only be at the top of the permanent ones. So that's a bit of an interesting controversy in that one. In order to simplify the system, only one economic bonus per resource credits, free XP, command XP, normal XP can be used at a time. 4 different bonuses in total. The values of the bonus are designed in such a way that it can be duplicate, even though the most profitable combinations from the current system. So, by the sounds of it, that you got these 4 choices here, that you can see here, and you can manipulate it to your own way. It looks like that instead of the lowering the service cost, camouflages give a credit bonus that makes the average income is either unchanged or increased. Wait a second. So, give me a moment, I'm just thinking about it a second, but anyway, we'll go to the next part. It said the service cost for researchable tier 9 warships is reduced from 120,000 to 115,000 credits. That's lame. It shouldn't be changed. But for researchable tier 10s ships, from 180,000 to 150,000 credits. I kid you not, that the current in-game, like the in-game diminishing returns for the game itself right now, the tier 9s and tier 10s at a stage, whether they're premium warships or not, they actually are earning quite well. That depends on how many kills you make and how much damage you have produced in the game. If you only had made 1,000 damage, to be honest with you, it's pretty much stuff off. If you have made at least over 60,000 damage and more, you actually get some better rewards. Just by looking at it, and to account for the changes, bonuses that are lowering costs in coal barrels, the current sales cost will be additionally reduced from 6.7%, and credit earned increased by 12.5%. So there's a bit of something, good for co-op barrels. That's not too bad. But they all camouflages affect only a ship's appearance. So that's actually weird how they worded that. But anyway, in order to make camouflages an exclusively visual customization, their combat bonuses are separate from them. The 3% detectability range by sea bonus previously present on all camouflages is now built into the default parameters of all ships. The 4% increase of dispersion of shells fired by enemies attacking your ship will be entirely removed. That could be interesting. The number of expendable items in your inventory is displayed, including those that are already mounted on the ships. So it's actually very interesting how they worded that. So I have to say that when the PTS goes live and it's available for you to test on 11.4 bonuses, stuff like that, go check it out, because it's going to be very interesting to see how this rewards work out for us in the long term. I have a bad feeling about it though, because there's a couple of reasons I have my doubts. The biggest doubt I have is that it just feels right now, as well, I'm reading this out loud to you, that it sounds like that what they're doing, wargaming that is that they're encouraging the player base like you to spend more. And it sounds like it, but I have to admit, I'm very curious to see what the next level of information I'm going to read out to you. So, as we scroll down here, we go to the details of the change. So, there's a lot of values on the expendable bonuses, and this is an example of what they're talking about. The bonuses are pretty much right there. So it looks like that free XP is divided into 4 parts, and same with Commander XP, the normal XP for in-game mechanics, and credits. And as you can see, it starts off by 20, 40, 160, and 320% for credits. Then you got XP for the general XP is 100, 200, 800, and 1600%. Same thing again for Commander XP, but free XP has really changed it. It's like they doubled it from 300 to 600% in the first two, and then basically the one after it is 2400 and 7200. So that's really, coming out strong. Um, it it's gonna be interesting though, but I have to admit, I mean, like, it's very rare for anyone to actually get some good rewards out of it like that. Order is resupply, order purchase. It's really hard to tell. Let's be honest. It's really hard to tell at this stage. We separate these two concepts to make it more convenient to use larger stocks of bonuses or resupply the automatic assignment of the same bonus instead of the used one. If it is present, will always be enabled. The balloons are not used in this case. So, that's like, it is what it is with that. It's interesting. I'm trying to understand how that's going to work though. Because, like, it sounds like to me that they're trying to make, certain mechanics in the game a bit more easier than before. It sounds like they're trying to restrict using the balloons. Now, the balloons is actually can be pretty expensive though, and that's where it sounds like the wargaming is like giving us a bit of a chance, but we'll see. Because like you can auto replenish it at your own will, and the used bonuses of the first two values. Example 20-40% credit, so camouflages will be automatically purchased. So that's actually very handy to know. The economic bonuses that I've been reading this, and I have to say that it's actually pretty full on when I'm reading this. So the economic bonuses are really in detail, and pretty much they're saying that the camouflage and signals will become separate entities. And camouflages can be only be used separately from these bonuses as well too. So I think that's going to be broken down and announced as it goes. But each of the bonuses increased the income of only one resource. For example, the only normal XP or commander free XP will be entitled there. Economic bonuses from permanent camouflages now work from a ship whenever you own it for that ship. The permanent economic bonus is obtainable and works in the field independently from the camouflage as well. It's interesting how this is worded. But one expendable bonus of each type grants free XP, Commander XP, and normal XP are used at the same time as permanent economic bonus. Wow, that's just unreal. But the service cost reduction for expendable camouflages and signals will be replaced by a temporal resource, which is exchanged for other economic bonuses during several versions after the release of the change. And that is very true, I'm afraid. But the service cost reduction for the permanent camouflages is replaced with such a bonus to credits that an average outcome either won't change or will become bigger. That is a bit of a what if scenario there. I have to admit, it's a bit of a what if scenario. But yeah, this is where it gets really, really tricky. The current system for the XP bonuses, that the amount of free and commander XP does make it difficult to calculate and decide whether these bonuses should be used. You know, like it's actually makes a fair point there. So with the release the change, the XP bonus will no longer have an effect on free and commander XP, which is not bad. It's decent. To ensure that the maximum possible earnings of these resources are not changed. So that's actually not bad at all. All economic bonuses in the new system are increasingly good as well too. In addition, the base amount of free XP gained is increased from 5 to 10%. That should be alright, but it's not worded the way I thought it would be. Um, so the new changes could be profitable, and so we have to keep an eye on that. And if you want to use the calculator to compare the current and new systems for yourself, so it's like could be pretty good, you know, diminishing returns currently and for the future. So definitely go check that out. This is the funny part I'm reading right now about the service cost reduction bonuses, and just by looking at it, it really comes down to what you have available. So the service cost reduction bonus is its core of bonus to credits, but its value depends greatly on the tier of the ship that's used on. Okay, that's fair enough. For example, the India Bravo battery signal reduces the service cost by 10%, can be sold in the inventory for 3,000 credits. The service cost for the ships on the tiers lower than 7 is less than 30,000 credits. For example, 23,000. For tier 6. Okay, that's a bit weird. I can see what they're doing with it. So instead of using the signal of these ships, it is actually more profitable to sell it. Wow. Did not know that at all. But so when you're thinking about it like in that sense, um, is it really worth it to keep it? And it probably is or isn't, and that's where it comes down to. So it sounds like to me that they're really focused on making the lower tiers better, diminishing returns, and actually help bring players up to speed when they use the bigger ships in terms of random battles and actually earning some in-game currency. So, it's really interesting though, because like anything that's on below tier 9, depending on how many kills and damage you make, you still make a pretty good diminishing returns anyhow, but not as, you know, as good as before. That's what they're trying to say. They're also trying to say that they're working on reducing the cost of the tier 9 and 10 warships for the servicing costs. So it's actually going to be interesting how they do it. And it looks like that the super warships will probably have the X amount of the same amount of what they're doing right now until further notice. That does make it more, you know, friendlier for the newer player base and also people who have played the game for a while. It is rumored to be better, but it's hard to say at this point in time. The exchange of big bonuses into small ones, it's doable by the looks of it. It seems like Wargame is trying to give you more bonuses, even though it may reduce the total number of them on the account compared to the number of signals and camouflages. However, if you prefer to use smaller bonuses or more often instead of big bonuses, you will be able to exchange big bonuses for smaller ones in the inventory for some other time after the change is released. Okay, that's weird. The exchange is happening in such a way that you'll keep the total bonus value, which is pretty cool. For example, 7200% to free XP can be split into 3 for 2400%, and each of them can split into 4 again with 600%. Bonuses will lastly each other. Well, okay. I think that will last a long time. I think that's what it meant. But it's interesting how this pans out. So that's actually not too bad, like what they want to do with that. But here's the real thing that it's got me bothered though, is the permanent camouflages and bonuses. So here we go. This is something that has been on my mind for a little while. But here we go. Just by reading on that, and this is, like I'm just reading it carefully. The first permanent camouflage that you'll buy from a researchable warship is an exterior import will be discounted. So that's actually not a bad thing. And the total cost of the bonus and the first permanent camouflage will be equal to the current cost of the permanent camouflage. What the F? So hang on, let me try that again. The total cost of the bonus and the first permanent camouflage will equal to the current cost of the permanent camouflage. So I think the way they worded it is that if the permanent camouflage is 5,000 doubloons, there's a bonus out of it, like a bit of a discount. So whenever that happens and they want to build and they research the permanent camouflage, you get some sort of discount. Not really, because like it looks like you've been paying the same amount, so it doesn't sound right. That part there, that line there, it's a bit really ambiguous there. So I have to say, be careful with it. All subsequent permanent camouflages from the same ship will cost the same as they do now, which is fair enough. For example, if you have the Yamato without permanent camouflages or economic bonuses, the permanent economic bonuses will cost 4,800 doubloons. Well, that's a lot of doubloons. The, the first permanent camouflage that you purchase in the exteriors will be discounted by 4,800 doubloons. Oh! Okay. So they're talking about... So I think this is what's happened. So basically, with the camouflages that you got there in the game right now on the actual ships, when you're actually going to buy it for the first time, you will be discounted for a fair amount of doubloons. Fair enough, I guess. But if you want to go for the Scorpid or the other things like that, I mean, the Scorpid ones, for example, is 3,200 doubloons. You get that returned, and the Type 20 is 200 doubloons. So that's basic. The second and all subsequent permanent camouflages, which some of us do have second camouflages, will cost at least 8,000 doubloons, but they Type 20 will remain as 5,000 doubloons. Fair enough. But it just feels weird about it all. Yeah. But it really does. I don't know if it's whether it's going to be cheaper or is it going to be more expensive. I think it's a mixture of both here, depending how you do it. And so the conversion table, there is a big conversion table here, which is pretty handy. Good to know. So this is a bit lengthy about the conversion calculator. So I'm going to talk about the conversion calculator in a second here, so we can talk about it in more detail. So the conversion calculator situation, just by looking at it, that everything that I'm reading up here, it is pretty much worded in a very different way. So let me just see how I can explain it in a better, simpler term for you. Alright, so here we go for the conversion calculator side of things. Wow, this is really different, I have to say. This is so different to what I was expecting, and this is not like something that can be done overnight. It probably will take a little while for you to get it out of your head and get around it. Believe me, it's a bit of a cluster F at the moment. Okay, so let's try this again. Okay, so when you look at the table itself, I mean, like, what you're seeing here is that the signal names are divided into different categories, and pretty much when you look at it, folks, when you look at this, it is pretty much really broken down. So it's really hard to tell how you're gonna word this, but keep in mind that the conversion will give you slightly more bonuses because the signals and camouflages are mounted on the ships will also be taken into account in consideration. In addition to accommodate for possible inconveniences of the transition to the new system, you'll get one bonus of each type, and the value irrespective of your total amount of bonuses, for a total of 16 extra bonuses as well. So that's interesting. What they've done is that on the first page in the column highlighted in orange, and basically, okay, is that enter the number of signals and of the specified type. I will show you what they're talking about. So basically, this is the column that they're talking about. It's already been highlighted. So hang on, let me just word this. Definitely, folks, go check it out with the link and read that while we're doing that as well. So basically, what they're talking about is that you can make your own changes in there and actually just see how this is all calculated, which is all well and good. I mean, like, I have to say that's actually interesting to do it, but it's actually interesting so that you can actually try it out for yourself. Make sure, folks, when you download this document, feel free to download it. You can go File, Download, and you can download the Excel document to your machine at home. On the first page in the column highlighted in orange, which is what I just got highlighted there, basically you just enter the number of signals you got in there. On the second page, enter the number of camouflages from the specific types that you have, and the results of conversion are shown on the first page in the total column. Okay. Interesting. This is very interesting where it's going to be going. Keep in mind that the conversion will give you slightly more bonuses because the signals and the camouflages mounted on the ships will also be taken into consideration. In addition to accommodate for possible conveniences of the transition to the new system, you'll get one bonus of each type, and the value irrespective of your total amount of bonuses for current of 16 extra bonuses. This is a bit weird because, like, what does that mean for subscriber camos and CC camos? That is another question I have to ask. And honestly, that's something that I had to take into consideration here, because there's a lot of people out there who have actually collected like the lunar event, as well as in like the New Year, Christmas, and all those special things like Black Friday and Halloween event, all those customized camos and stuff like that. I wonder how that works, especially the Valentine Day ones. So go figure. Alright, so it's going to be interesting in how that's going to be changing. There's going to be changes in rewards that's happening as well. So the rewards that they're talking about is focused on the additional new entity entails of a change to all rewards in the game. Combat missions, campaigns, operations, and collections, economic and special signals are replaced by bonuses. So that's going to be changing. And camouflages will be supplemented by boosters. The content of all containers that had signals or camouflages in them also will change. That is a very interesting situation coming up. But it's very interesting how it's going to be worded here. There are examples and rewards calculator. You can try out different combinations of economic bonus for yourself and compare the current and the new system in the calculator. So this is the calculator they're talking about, and that you can actually check it out for yourself. Go ahead, download it, check it out at home in your own time and leisure. Basically, they give you a bit of a brief oversight example in here. At least you can understand what kind of diminishing returns and everything you're going to get. But the one biggest concern I have is like how this is going to happen in moving forward in 11.4, because I have a feeling that not many people are going to like the change. And I have to admit, change can be good if played right, but it doesn't seem right to me. It's like, you know, a bit of a memory overload here. The input blocks, you can specifically, you know, specify which bonuses you want to use. That's fair enough. But the all example below for simplicity are calculated for battle in which you get 100,000 credits and 1,000 base XP. Permanent bonuses and premium accounts are not considered. What the frack? Okay. Let me try it again. So, let me try this. In the import blocks, you can specify which bonuses you can use. Okay, so you can specify what you want to use. So that's like the import boxes, I assume. Okay. All examples below, for simplicity, are calculated for a battle in which you get 100,000 credits and 1,000 base experience. Okay. That I can live with. However, permanent bonuses and premium accounts are not considered. So what does that mean? So basically, if you have a premium account for World of Warships, does that mean that everything that all these rewards are neglected? Or is it a separate item? I have a feeling it's separate. But if it's neglected, oh snap. I don't think a lot of people will be bloody happy about that. And then there's no economic bonuses as well. This is really tough. This is really tough. Well, without bonuses, you'll get twice as much free XP in the new system. I support that. That's not bad. I mean, like, at least it's like a bit of a better, diminishing returns on that. That's cool. Economic signals, simple camouflages. It's actually pretty cool as well too. So that's actually not bad. Like, it looks actually very nice. It looks good. I mean, like, what they want to do and what they want to aim for. But holy crap, dude. So I think what they're trying to do is that with the economic flags they got in there at the moment, they want to change that from the premium shop that's in there. So basically, what I can say is that anything to do with the customizations of flags and that, I have a feeling that these flags might be removed. Might. I have a feeling they might be removed. If that's what Wargaming's mindset is, then basically it's probably for the best, but at the same time could be for the worst. But then again, I mean, like, a lot of people have a bucket load of economy flags, like I do. I have like over 1,000 of them on each of the flags there, bonuses, except for one in particular. But that's okay. I mean, like, that's fine. But that's just like giving yourself an idea here. So it's actually interesting that they gonna work something out by changing the flags and how they're gonna be used. So it looks like the flag system is gonna be made redundant. In terms of the full set of economic and special signals and camouflages, it could be changed as well too. It's gonna be like, what the hell? So Wargaming has gone with the motive to remove camouflages? Is that what they want to do? I don't know. I mean, like, I have a lot of camouflages, but this is so full on, like, just by reading it. If you use the best of these bonuses, you'll gain more credits and all types of experience in new system. In addition, you'll still have bonuses on there as well. Okay, fair enough. And yeah, I don't know about none of battle. Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, like, I can see where that goes. So it's like, this is an example of what they want to focus on, which is pretty cool. Um, Full set of economic and special signals, the most camouflage. And basically, they will be converted to the following bonuses, which is pretty good, just by looking at it. But yeah, I have to say that the war really in depth about the conversion rules and everything. So conversion rules are really in depth here because when the change comes out, you'll get a permanent bonuses with the best available values of your permanent camouflages for a particular ship. Any bonuses worse than the standard ones for a tier are upgraded to them. So that's actually interesting how that works. Post-battle service cost reduction is replaced with credit bonuses for each 2% of the service cost reduction. You'll get 1% of credits instead. If a camouflage did not have any bonus or free XP or command XP, but had the bonus to XP, then you'll receive only not only a bonus to XP, but all bonuses to all the other types of XP. That this is done for a reason, and now bonuses to different XP types are not related to each other. Man, talk about what the F. There's a lot of information in here that you need to sit back and really divulge in this. But it looks like that when they're talking about it, they really have gone into depth about explaining what has been used and not used. Especially, I just noticed that the Gajah ship has been mentioned in this conversation here. That for Type 17 camouflage, this is like the stats for it, and for the Gajah. So it could be a good and bad thing that that ship has been nerfed or buffed. Expanded camouflages. There's a lot in there. Wow. Definitely, you need to read this, folks. This is wow. This is like unreal. Oof. Definitely, I would encourage you to read this because like this is a bit more than I expected, a bit more than I anticipated as well. Um. The special flags will be around still, but it looks like it's they will probably make some changes to the old bonuses and make sure they have better bonuses for special flags, which is nice. I mean, like definitely. I mean, like if you had any of these flags listed here, and it's broken down to 4 categories, definitely go check it out. It looks actually pretty nice though. We got all the bonuses and everything here. It really does. Um. Yeah, I can see it how this is gonna pan out. It's just weird how Wargaming has approached this. But it probably will take a little getting used to. So don't be afraid to keep asking questions. But does this mean that, like any specific cameras we have, and over the past 10 years will be all made redundant? If it is, man, there's gonna be a lot of pissed off people about that. But I don't think that is the case. I think what the case is that the flags are going to be separate, the camouflages are going to be separate, everything in terms of accommodating bonuses will be separate, so it's all calculated into one thing. Um, but honestly, this is really tough call. For Wargame's part, but the other clan bonuses, because of the detachment bonuses, the free XP and the commander XP form XP, war colleague gives a bonus XP to XP only, so it's necessary to make changes to the structures in the clan base. Okay, fair enough. Bonuses to free XP experiences of all levels of the design bureau is doubled, which is cool. Completely built building will give you plus 50% free experience from tier 1 to 10 ships instead of 25%. Okay, that's nice. That's good to hear. Bonus to commander XP of each level. Like Academy is increased by 1%. Finally constructed building will give 15% of commander experience instead of 10%. Wow, man. That's actually pretty cool. But this is the one thing that I was really concerned about is the premium account. So people have paid out of their own money to add premium time on their accounts, and this is where it counts. So premium accounts will be given a bonus to all experience types and credits in the same way as before the changes. Okay, that's a relief. With the exception that bonuses to overall experience does not affect free experience and commander experience. Okay, let's just hope that works. As in the current system, the premium account increases the values of the base experience and the credits. All other values of the economy bonuses are applied after the battle from the premium account. Fair enough. But that's actually interesting to see how that pans out there. And also first victory, and the bonus for the first victory today will be applied in that manner, which is okay. Because like we have had situations where 100, 200% bonuses. Combat signals will be controlled from the equipment hub tab, which is awesome. Now the Missouri, so what's the story about the Missouri? The Missouri T9 American battleship has been a very good money-earning warship back in the day. For ease of tracking bonuses, all owners of the Special Missouri Combat Mission will instead receive an improved permanent bonus for credits. Instead of 10% to credits, they will have 40%. Well, that's a lot of money. And if you have the Missouri, good on you. But that's okay. Man, that was a mouthful. I don't know about you folks, but that was really a mouthful. And honestly, folks, if you have any questions and whatnot in this video, please go ahead, post it away, share us your thoughts and concerns, because like I will start, figuring out what's going on behind the scenes and take it from there. But until then, stay safe, take care. I'll see you all in the next stream. Thanks again for tuning in on this video. And wow, that is a lot of information to take and process. We'll see you soon.